Hello. Hello, first people joining. Welcome to the album launch. To the album launch chat. I think I've done one Instagram live in my entire life, and I didn't know what I was doing then, and I don't know what I'm doing now. Hello. Just gonna wait for a few more people to join in. But how are you doing? Tell me in the comments. Is everyone safe and doing okay? I'm sorry I couldn't do this yesterday. Really wanted to celebrate the album launch on the day that it came out, but I had food poisoning and it was a much stranger day than I was imagining it being. Thank you for asking how I'm doing and checking on me. And thank you for all getting the album yesterday. So thrilled to see all of you posting about it and writing about it. All right, I'm gonna try and add in a couple of people to have them straight away. If I can remember how to do this. This is the boring bit. Oh, where did they go? All right, if I've invited someone, is that all I have to do?
Hey, buddy.
Hi, pal. Hey, everyone. This is Sam, and Sam was the producer on the album, and he also happens to be in a little band called Maroon 5, and we are here to talk about the album and any questions that you guys have got in these comments. I'm going to also try and add in Hammy, who is my drummer, but also my music manager and helped produce the album as well. And so hopefully we can get a nice, fun little chat going. God, the beginning of these things are weird, aren't they?
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
just like 5 minutes of
can't hear
awkwardness.
anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Okay, he's invited. Hammy, you're invited if you're out there.
I got my dogs out here, by the way. They might make some noise here. Hey, buddies.
Someone's
How's,
asking if your house is safe, Sam. Oh,
um,
is this a Hammy? This is a someone?
Hey guys,
Oh, he's not got any signal. Of course.
I forgot.
That's the only thing that could make this more awkward. Hey! I don't think you've got
You guys hear me?
any internet signal, Hammy.
yeah, I can't hear you very well, but it just adds to the awkwardness of a live.
I don't think you got enough signal there, mate.
Um, yeah, he's
No,
struggling.
struggling. All right. Well, we're just gonna crack on. Okay.
Yeah. To answer your question,
I
my parents have evacuated. Our house is okay. My brother's house is okay. But yeah, I'm from LA, and this is heartbreaking on a level that I've never really understood. So
Yeah, I had. We started the tour off in San Diego the other night, and
yeah,
my next door neighbor came into my house to film out the back window. That the fires were right outside the back window, so that was
scary.
a very strange, a very, very, very strange night. But I'm so grateful to the firefighting teams and everything who put out those,
Yeah,
contain those
yeah.
fires, because
Brave
if they hadn't
people.
been there, I don't think my house would be standing. So.
Yeah.
And also, there's quite a lot of people I know who have lost their homes. I don't know if any of you have ever come to my gigs or ever seen me sing with Hunter.
That's right. She
Poor
lost.
thing. She lost her house, so she's got a GoFundMe and stuff on her page if you guys are interested in helping her out. Anyway,
Yeah.
today in yesterday is supposed to be about celebrating this album, and since we weren't able to have a big show or a big party or any of the things that we were planning on doing, we are here. We're here with you. So
Yeah.
thank you all for being here. I saw a question here that said, "How long did it take to make the album?" I started writing some of the songs probably 3 years ago. I was in Hungary shooting the second season of Shadow and Bone, and I had a piano. I rented a little piano, so that at the end of the day, when I took the cloaks off and stopped being took off my villain cloak, I would go home and write these. And start writing some of these songs. I remember writing the in-between on that piano. I remember starting Stolen Time on that piano. So a lot of them started then, and then I think I wrote most of the songs over about a 2-year period. The last song that we wrote for it, I think, was the song I wrote with Sam and James from the band. We wrote Where the Light Gets In, and
Was that the last one you wrote for the record? Was there one after that?
I think so. There might have been one after that, but I think it was. I think I realized that the album was taking shape. That was kind of an album about the different stages of a relationship, sort of meeting someone, and then there was a lot of songs about sort of trying to reframe a relationship or trying to love someone in a different way, or sort of the ache of losing someone or whatever. And then I realized I wanted a couple of songs that were just pure love songs, or sort of celebrating the place that you've got to in your life, which feels like a good kind of healthy, relaxed, calm place. So I think that's when we started writing Slow It Down and the in between. And so
Yeah.
I can see a question here that says, "Please put Ritual on the set list." Now, Ritual, not only does it demand a gospel choir, which Sam and I fabricated from our 4 or 5 brilliant backing singers, and we doubled them over a bunch of times to make a big choir, but also it's a very, very high, hard song to sing, which I managed to do once in the studio, but when I tried to rehearse it for the show, I was like, if I sing this 30 times in a row, I'm going to destroy my voice. So that's kind of the reason that one isn't on the
You should
that one isn't on
do
the
it.
set
You
list.
should do what we do whenever like there's a song that's too high. You bring it down a key and play it as like an acoustic song.
Yeah, I know. I tell you what, we will work on a gentle, lower acoustic version to like put out
Yeah.
into the world at some point. Because
Because
a lot of people I saw yesterday, a lot of people listening to the album were saying that Ritual was one of their favorites, and
it's a good
that
one.
was probably the trickiest one for us to get right from a production standpoint. Would you
I would
say?
say so. I think it was probably one of the last ones we finished. You were It was kind of a balance between like how much choir do you want and what kind of dynamic build you wanted to do, like where it goes. It was a battle for sure, but I think we got it right at the end. So
Yeah, I really like
yeah,
what we had in the end.
yeah. I'm seeing so many questions here. I don't know. You got to tell me if we're supposed to answer some of these.
Hammy.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much
Yeah,
better.
much better.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hammy Hamilton. Who's if you've ever seen me on stage, he's the one flailing his arms at the back, and you can also thank him for anything we're doing now music wise, because he's my music manager and he helped us put this album together as well. So yeah, any questions for any of us about how we put the album together, or the shows, or any of the songs in particular?
The questions are going really quick.
They're
So
going
Ben,
quick,
just
but
Yeah.
if you
pick one, feel free.
see one that's exciting to you, you said you'd like to hear me singing in London someday. GCL Resurrection. Well, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Come be my date, because that's when we're playing in London. So there's still a few tickets, I think, for London.
Shepherd's Bush.
Somebody has said musical influences for the style of the album. I think when I was growing up, I was listening to a lot of like 70s music, sort of Stevie Wonder, Elton John, you know, Johnny Hathaway kind of stuff, and then more recent inspiration, I think we wasn't really like a plan to make it sound like anyone, but I think a couple of the songs ended up kind of having a bit of a Hosier feel when his new album came out. When we were recording, I was like, "Ooh, this kind of has a similar."
Yeah.
I think he likes the gospel choir as well. Yeah, I think just like kind of what modern wise, whatever I'm listening to, but always kind of has that kind of 70s throwback inspiration. But I wanted it to be a pop album, which is, one of the reasons it was so great to have Sam, because he knows that genre kind of inside and out.
Sort
Yeah.
of.
I'm pretty old indie cool actually, so
Yeah, well, back in the day, Frank Sinatra was pop.
Yeah,
good point.
exactly. It's a funny word, that one. So,
Yeah, it's weird.
Somebody's asking if the lyrics or the melody came first. Actually, we did it every which way on this album. On the EP, I wrote all the lyrics first, and then I wrote music to the lyrics. And then on this album, they started that way because that was sort of what I knew. And I think in the end, I wrote basically every lyric on the album, but some of them were written after. Some of the people I collaborated with to write with, after we'd done a writing session together, maybe like a week later, would send me a little chord sequence or a little melody they'd been toying with, and then I would try and write some lyrics to those melodies. So we definitely tried it every which way round on this album, and certainly there's a mixture. That song 1 Minute More, the duet with Monica Martin, a couple of the fellas that I've been writing with sent me some music that I then put lyrics to on that one for sure. But a song like The In Between was definitely lyrics first, sort of like a poem almost, and then something like Beloved happened sort of at the same time in the room. I would suggest a line that I'd had on my phone from something, or I'd written in a notebook, just a line or two, a phrase, and then we'd write some music, and then I'd go off in another room and try and fit things with the melody. So we've done it every which way.
So the questions are coming in really fast.
Well, jump in if you see one you like.
Mine froze for some reason. It's not scrolling anymore.
So someone's saying here, is any plans to tour Australia? What do you think, Ben? Do you want to go to tour Australia?
You love Australia, don't you, Hamilton?
Well, my wife's from there.
Yeah.
I love Australia.
You have the best wife. Yeah, definitely. We want to go. I think this particular tour, being the first one that we've done for an album, was sort of logistically was very constricted by where we can drive a bus to overnight. So if anywhere, all those people asking in Brazil or Mexico or Texas even, or Australia or Asia, I've seen all those comments. I desperately want to come to all of these places, and hopefully we can do another little mini tour or two, either later in the year or next year or whenever, that we can come and sort of bring this show to. So yeah, I definitely want to come and play this stuff in different places where you guys are listening to it, because I really appreciate it.
Somebody was asking, two people asked actually. One was, what was the most difficult and longest song to write and finish on the album? And also, which was the longest and the hardest to record?
What's the one that we redid the drums on a couple?
Take Me to the Moon.
Take Me to the Moon was weirdly difficult. Weirdly difficult to get
I thought
right.
that was going to be one of the easiest ones, and it ended up being the hardest.
Yeah.
I think, painfully speaking or emotionally speaking, I think it was difficult to watch you do Far Too Soon. That was really, I know it was a really personal one for you. I remember thinking like, oh my God, this is really intensely emotional to watch.
Yes.
Even,
I remember the drive home that day.
Yeah.
Being quite silent in your car. It's just, oof, that was really from the gut, the bottom end of the heart.
Yeah, not like a technically difficult one, but more like
emotional. Yeah.
No, it was probably the simplest song to record. It was just me, and I think Charles played piano on every song on the album except for that one, which was Kevin, I think.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because we just sort of put it together, and it was just, we just played it live at the same time and did it through a few times. Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a lot of lyrics and stuff on the album which are sort of self-explanatory, sort of what they're about, and then people listen to the songs and they make them about their own experiences. But I think that Far Too Soon song certainly has some sort of little tiny details about different kinds of people in my life. There's just little lyrics that talk about different people, different experiences, and different fears for the future, and all of that.
Yeah.
And so I think it was, it felt very personal, which is the other reason it's not one of the ones that I'm going to sing every night on the tour.
I can see a few people are just asking, are you willing to share what it's about?
Say it again.
Are you willing to share what it's about?
I mean, I think I talk quite a lot about what a lot of the songs are about, but I think sometimes I think it's nice when songs are very deliberate and give you very deliberate detail, and sometimes it's nice that it's kind of nuanced and not quite secret, but it's just sort of like little kernels of, there was I talk about a tree in the song, which is like a very specific tree where I've had very specific experiences. And then there's a couple of lines in there. I think that I'm basically thinking about my family, my parents in particular. So it's like a mix of like relationships I've had and the relationships that I've seen close up, and that's kind of where Far Too Soon came from. I saw someone saying other songs that didn't make onto them. Yes, there was at least a handful of songs that actually I remember the first time I was trying to convince, after we wrote Where the Light Gets In with Sam and James, I was trying to convince them to come on and produce the album. So I had them over to my house, and I made them a big pot of tea and biscuits, and I played them through a bunch of songs that we had demoed. And I was sort of standing up, like trying to be like, "What do you think? Please." I was basically begging him to produce my album at this point, and definitely there were a few songs on there that they were like, maybe not for this album. But we had so many at that point that I think we sort of thought we had enough. But then we did. Actually, no. I think you said, actually, Sam. I think you said we need to write 2 or 3 more that are kind of a bit more.
You had a lot of piano ballads.
Yes.
They were great. Like you sing those really well. But I think in the nature of like an album, dynamically speaking, you just were lacking a couple that had a little more energy to it. So we just needed a couple more. And I think you guys cracked it almost immediately. We had 2 more. I can't remember what came after that. So maybe it wasn't the last one. Where the Light Came In was not the last song. There was like 2 more after.
Yeah, you're right. There was 2, so.
But like there was also ones where like Three of Hearts, when I heard the demo for that, it was like a ballad almost. It was like really dramatic and stuff. And then we kind of flipped it in rehearsals, and it sort of became much more of like an Elton John song or something, like a much more energetic. So that happened with a couple of songs too, which were good. But
yeah, I definitely have a tendency to write songs slower because I'm not a very good piano player, and so I like to play slowly, which means I write slowly. So that was the good thing about collaborating with other people on this record, because
it's definitely
I can translate what I'm thinking and they can actually tell me.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I mean, from my experience, it's not for everybody, but from my experience, it's hard to write an upbeat, fun song that's not silly, or what I mean. It's just like really hard to get it right to me. And it's much easier to like pour your heart out with in like a ballad and beautiful melody and lyric, and then the second you start trying to put stuff on top of it, it's some reason like it doesn't work as well. So it's hard. I don't know. It's harder to do an upbeat thing. But I think we got it right. I think it's got a nice balance on the record. So.
Oh, it does. 100%. Yeah. I couldn't be more prouder. Of both you guys.
I'm seeing a question which said, your scars on the cover of Where the Light Gets In, were they similar to the Darkling scars on purpose? So I had this idea about, I was starting to write this song actually about Kintsugi, which is the the art of like fixing a broken ceramics using gold, and it's a Japanese sort of tradition. And I just love the idea that you take something that's broken and make it more precious because it was broken, and sort of more beautiful in a different way. And so I sort of realized that all the songs were becoming a little bit about that feeling of feeling sort of more lovable, but despite and because of everything that you've kind of become or been through. And so I contacted Howard Berger, who is the was a makeup artist on the Narnia movies, and he actually won an Oscar for that, for doing that makeup. And I asked him if he could turn me into a ceramic bowl and then break me and fix me with gold. So that's what we were trying to do on the cover. And it was in my thoughts that I had facial scars, both in The Punisher season 2 and also in Shadow and Bone season 2. Don't know if season 2 always draws lines on my face, but there we go, it does. It was a sort of like a sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek idea that I could sort of reclaim this thing that is being done to me in these other stories that I don't have control over, and doing it my way in gold this time, sort of trying to be the good guy, as it were. And so yes, it was a very good question, and that is kind of a little bit of what I was thinking about, making it my version.
But yeah, for some reason my messages aren't scrolling anymore, so I have no idea what questions are being asked. So I don't know why.
Thank you for all these lovely comments about the songs and for listening to it and doing all of that. I really do appreciate it. I love seeing everyone posting online. Like there's this little I don't know what you call it, but there's a little screen where you do an add yours, where you say which you think is your most heartbreaking song, your song to dance to, and your favorite on the album. So I don't know if somebody made this template, which I filled in, and I'm going to get Hammy to do it, and I'll try and get Sam to do it as well, and just post it. But I love seeing people's reactions to listening through the album a couple of times and seeing what resonates with them, because it was so hard to pick singles from this. I did a little tally actually with about 20 of my friends. I sent them the album a few months ago and said which songs should be singles, and of course we had a label involved and Hammy and everybody that I was asking. I called Sam, I think, more than once to say what should be the singles, and he went, "Don't ask me, I don't know."
Never
Yeah, so I love seeing which songs you guys are responding to. It turns out you got it right and wrong at the same time, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, any covers you could do of Hosier?
Oh,
that would be a nice one.
I tend to like doing slightly unexpected covers of things which are a little bit less like the music that you do, though. Otherwise, I think it starts to become a bit.
There was definitely one Hosier song that we listened to Hosier all the time that we were referencing.
Oh yes, there was a song. I think we were trying to get the choir right in Ritual, and I kept playing you.
It's a great song.
I kept playing you one of the songs. I think it's called No More or Good or what is it called?
Something like that. Yeah, I remember we listened to that song a lot.
It was my favorite song on his last album, and the gospel choir comes in quite near the end, and I was like, can we make it feel like this in terms of the sort of celebration, the jubilance of it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
I see there's people asking.
I've just seen young Joe Freeman. So this has got nothing to do with music, but I've just finished filming a show called The Institute, which is a Stephen King adaptation. I think because I never do lives, I can just talk about anything. So, and the lead of that is played by a young actor called Joe Freeman, who is absolutely brilliant and one of my new favorite people. So I see you there. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, people are asking, a lot of them saying, when are you playing Paris? I mean, just look at your Instagram. There's posters there.
If you go to anyone, if you don't know the tour, we roll out on the bus tonight to San Francisco, and we're going across America, into Canada, across Europe, and there are a few venues which are sold out, but there's still tickets in most of the places, at least a few.
Paris is sold out, unfortunately.
The pinned posts on my grid are the tour posters with all the dates on them. So I would love to see as many of you, and I'd come and fill out those venues, bring some friends, and yeah, fill them out, because those will be really exciting. They'll be really exciting to get more of these. Yes, Paris is sold out. Somebody's saying sorry. Yes, there are a few,
Yeah.
but
It's a shame because I don't know if I'm able to see the show in LA anymore because you guys have moved it. So I might have to come out to a different city and see a different show.
Yeah.
yes.
I was just thinking
To
about
anyone
that.
who's going to come to the LA show, we're moving it. It's looking at the moment like we'll stick it right on the end of the tour. I'm not sure
Yeah.
the exact date yet, but that looks like it's the plan. We'll come back here and have a big party right at the end. And so yes, get more as soon as we put those tickets on sale. And
Yeah.
we'll try and open up some more tickets, because it was going to be a sort of smaller album launch party, but now it's going to be some kind of, well, it'll still be the album launch party at the end of the tour. So we'll try and open it up to be a bigger show,
Mm-hmm.
bigger and more fun, won't we, Hammy? That is
Absolutely.
our
Yeah.
idea.
If we were to record, and this is a question actually just for Ben and Sam, if we were to record an acoustic version of the album and have it as a special release, what would it be?
I think that's a question for all
Yeah,
these
this,
people
everyone,
watching.
please chirp
Is
in.
that something you'd be interested in? Everyone.
I always find that to be a great thing to do. It's always good to hear the songs in like their most stripped down
Mm-hmm.
versions.
I mean,
Do the whole.
it's definitely how all of them were. Definitely how most of them were written at a piano or just with a guitar or something. But
Yeah.
it'd be nice to find some ways. We were talking right before you came on, Hammy, about doing a version maybe in a dressing room or something of the song Ritual, because a lot of people are really responding to it, but I was telling them how it's too hard to sing.
You know what?
I don't know
I
why
was
I write
thinking
songs
that
that,
the
so
very
we'll do a
first,
lower,
yeah,
gentle
the very,
version with
the
some
very,
harmonies maybe.
the very first venue, which there'll be a few on this run, will have an upright piano in the dressing room. And I was thinking, get the camera in, like Finn, and just a cappella in the piano mostly, and arrange that. Have Charles take charge of it. Could be really
Yes,
cool.
all right. Well, I think we should try and do that for Ritual then, since we don't play it on the tour.
Yeah.
You should try to find a spot in every city you're in with that's got a good acoustic room and a piano in it, and just record one song per city. And then by the end of the tour, you got the whole album.
There you go.
Just saying.
Well, at least one.
At least
At
one.
least one. Yeah, let's start with one and see where we go.
Any instruments I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play any instruments really. I started off having drum lessons when I was about 10, and I love bashing away at the drums, but I don't fully know what I'm doing, and because it's been such a long time. And then I write at the piano, so I play a little bit the piano. But then when you get truly extraordinary musicians like these two playing, you realize just how little you know. I only know how to be at the front and chat to everybody and sing the songs really.
I wish I could see the questions, guys. I'm sorry. For some reason, my
Is
screen's frozen.
there a song you wrote that didn't end up on the album you wish did or would be released at a later time? Actually, yeah, interestingly, I was on the tour bus yesterday chatting with some of the band, and I was playing them some of the demos that didn't end up on the record, and they were like, wait, we could change this and put this here, and maybe we could make it into something. So yeah, definitely, it's been probably a year since I've written a song at all. So yeah, it would be nice to do it, but it's just getting the album out and then getting the tour up and then going and filming a TV show, and my brain just gets so thick with stuff, and yes, there is merch at the shows. Here is one of the sweatshirts with my little UB logo. There is merch at the shows, but not necessarily the sizes that you want. So if you want something very specific, I would say grab it online and wear it to the show. But yes, it will be at all the shows. Yes, and there is a tortie at the shows that is not on as well. But my buddy Roger, who's a brilliant actor who I've known for 20-something years, wanted to come along, so he will be selling all the merch at the shows. I love. How would I feel about a Christmas album? I love Christmas music more than almost anything. So I will 100% do some kind of Christmas album or EP or something in my life. I'd like to write a few new Christmas songs, maybe. I always wanted to do one of those. You know, that sort of when I was a kid, or you watch those like BBC Christmas specials that people would do. They would sort of host a Christmas special and sing songs.
Yeah,
It feels a
like I
bit
said, sometimes
outdated
it's
now, but I think people did do
like
them.
I didn't look.
I think people do still do them. Oh, you know who did one? Do you know? Have you guys watched Ted Lasso? Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso did a Christmas special on the telly recently, and it was great. And I chatted to her about that. I say chatted. I complained that she didn't invite me to sing with her because we have the same agent in the UK, and so yes, something like that I would love to do. You love the pirate song. Well, if you come to a show, maybe we'll sing it for you. And yeah, we played a few things off the old EP, mainly the new stuff, and then a bunch of different things. What necklace am I wearing? Oh, I don't normally talk about this stuff. It is something, actually, it is a little courage emblem that was given to me on my 40th birthday by my best friend who was in the Narnia films. And it's my birthday. So I love it. Check the questions. Oh, there's a whole questions section.
I don't. Where is that?
At the bottom. Okay.
Oh yes, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah.
Look at this.
Oh wow.
Okay, we've answered some of these already. Sam, will Maroon 5 release new music anytime soon? It's about
We're working on it.
6 people asking that.
Working on it right now. Not sure when,
So
but
he's
we got.
working on it.
Yep. You guys want to meet my dog,
Yes.
Rusty?
Rusty. I've met
Hey,
your dog.
Rusty.
Rusty, come here.
Oh, there's literally a question that says, Sam, can we please meet your dogs? That's so funny.
Rusty, come here.
There's a lot of people asking where you got your sunglasses, Hammy.
I stole them off my wife.
Oh, I love that.
And I think she got them in. I think she got them in Australia. To be honest.
Hammy, 2 questions. Will I ever play on Jules Holland?
Of course you will. Sit tight.
Cool. That would be so cool. Somebody's asking if we can sing the song River in Cologne. So, Hammy, can we redo that cover of River that I did in Cologne?
Absolutely.
Right.
I think so.
In Cologne, apparently. Did Nevermind start as an anti-parallel for 1111? Do you know what I love? I love that some people have, because I've worked very, very, very hard on the lyrics to try and make some of the songs mirror other songs or be maturations, progressions from other songs. There's a lyric in 1111 about not getting left behind, and then in Nevermind there's a lyric about that says I got left behind, and there's a lot of little there's quite a few little rhyming kind of throwbacks to different things or between songs on the album even. So I love people who are like digging that deep into it. Makes me so happy. It's like, actually it's kind of geeky because it reminds me when I was at college studying English literature, and I would go through these poems, and you would see it would reference like the Odyssey or something, and I would think that was really cool. And so I love it when people pick up that I'm referencing other songs of mine, or even there was one Shakespeare reference on the EP. There's one Shakespeare reference quote on the album. Does anyone know what it is yet? I bet you two don't.
I know what it is.
You do? Of
I
course
think
you do.
so.
All right, let them. Anyone get? Of course we dig. We're nerds. All right, go on then. If the first person to get the Shakespeare reference would be very cool. and then there's what else? What else do I reference on there? Oh, we contacted the Dylan Thomas estate, so for the song "Someday," which was a pain in the ass for Hammy, I think, but I had to have it how I had to have it, and uh, yes, so that quote from his brilliant poem, "We will not go gentle into that good night." Um, I had to, when I was writing that song, I knew I had to reference those few words. And then someone said, "Beloved reminds me of E. E. Cummings." I did. I definitely quoted E. E. Cummings on the EP. But that does anyone? All right. If we can't find the Shakespeare quote, does anyone know where the quote on the beginning of the album from "Beloved" is from? Does anyone know that? Why have I turned it? Why have I made myself into a? Why have I made myself into like a not very fun teacher in this moment? I'm going back to these questions, racking your brain on the Shakespeare. No one's got the Shakespeare. I'll give you a clue. It's from Macbeth. Charles Dickens. Yes, Dickens is the quote on the beginning. Well done, Bethy. Great Expectations. Yeah, it's all getting it now. All getting it now. Let's go back to these questions. Everyone wants your sunglasses.
They are pretty good.
Everyone says there's a lot of heartbreak on the album. Where do you find the joy? I think they're both on there though. I think if you listen to a song like "Slow It Down," you listen to the end of "Someday," you listen to "Where Beloved" goes to, even the end of 11:11. Like there's a lot of sort of joy and love on it, on the album as well. Oh, Rally Richie collab. Do you know what? I love Jacob, and I would, yeah, bite off one of my fingers to work with Rally Ritchie. Or somebody saying Olivia Dean. Yeah, I keep talking about her in interviews because I just think she's amazing. She would be my dream duet right now. And then, but a collaboration with Rally Ritchie or Hosier, I guess. Though either of those would be killer. Latin America, yes, I'm desperate. I see that when I go on my Instagram profile and I look where the people following me are from, there are so many of you in Mexico and Brazil, and I'm desperate to come down there and play some music down there. I feel like it would be the best time ever. I almost came down to Brazil Comic Con a couple of years ago, but I was filming and I couldn't. So, yeah, I would love to.
How was the experience recording the album versus Songs for You? It was very, very different, right?
Very different. Yeah, you can speak to that a bit, Hammy, because you sent in the drums.
Yeah, I think, well, Songs for You was something that really you felt that you had an opportunity to do during lockdown, right?
Yeah.
And you had this time on your hands, and you've always talked about writing more, and you finally did it. And then we all recorded the album remotely and all sent our bits and pieces over months and months and months. And we pieced it all together very weirdly and then released it. We weren't in the room together whatsoever, where this album, which is really
Yeah.
unique these days, which is really strange, that it's a mad concept that a load of musicians get into a room and make music.
Yeah, Ben, I'm really glad that we did that, Ben, because that's like sort of my fondest memories of making records were the early ones where you make mistakes and you figure out what's wrong with something and you re-record it and you go and listen to it and then you record it again, and it's like a camaraderie in the room that you don't feel unless you're together, and so much music is now made on a laptop and sent parts around, and that works too, don't get me wrong, but I'm really glad you got to experience that as your first like record, because
Me
I,
too.
I I don't know how much longer that's going to last for. I mean, especially with what just happened in LA, like so many good studios are gone, like Friends lost so much stuff. It's like I don't know what's going to happen anymore. But,
Sam, which of the records with your band were recorded kind of, or which of the biggest stuff that you've worked on were recorded kind of in a room with musicians?
well, I mean, I've only really both bands I've been in my whole life. The first 3 or 4 records, each band was done that way,
Yeah.
So I mean, my first couple records with Phantom, and I think I didn't record with Maroon on the early stuff. I just did demos, but like I'm pretty sure we all worked on tape. You know what I mean? It was like that long ago. We're that old at this point. So, which is another great experience that I hope most musicians get to try, because you just think differently when you're recording the tape than you do digitally. Like your
Yeah.
brain like understands, like it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be right. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? And
Speaking of things that are impossible to get right, someone's asking how we chose the order of the songs on the album, and
that was all
I
you. Yeah.
I had a go at that first off that was just purely based on instinct. And then about a month after I decided it, Hammy came out to stay with me and we decided to listen to the album all the way through. And I suddenly went, Hammy, these songs aren't in the right order, are they? And he went, I don't know, let's listen again. So we put it back on again from the beginning. And
It's hard.
and then we were listening in the living room. And then I remember we went into the kitchen here and started listening to it again in a different order, and we were like, yes, this one goes here. And it was actually a really fun, that sounds like maybe a really frustrating experience, but I actually really enjoyed that moment of trying to piece it together, because I wanted it to feel like a relationship in terms of where the hope fits and the nostalgia and looking back on something and looking forward to something else. And a song about this song about sex sort of near-ish the beginning, and I there's these hope, I think I wanted it to look like a relationship, but it wasn't quite possible to do them in that order, because it just would have been too many bigger pop tunes at the beginning, too many slower ones near the
Mhm.
end. So I think it kind of found its own rhythm in the end. But I'm actually really proud of the order of the songs in the end. To listen to as an album, I see people's vinyls were arriving yesterday, which is really exciting. So
Yeah, when it got released the other night, I got on in my bunk in the tour bus, and I just listened top to bottom, totally in the dark on my own with the earphones on, and just took them out at the very last song, Far Too Soon, and went, wow. It was like kind of the first time I got perspective, a little bit of perspective of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard when you're in it, but
someone called Kate just said, "You've got Sex and Death on the album. You're just missing a song about tax," which is that made me laugh. There are some good songs about tax. Paul McCartney's got one. Um,
I can't help you guys. I'm sorry. I don't even know where this question thing is.
so
it was at the bottom, but I think there feels like it's sort of close. All right, let's do one or two more, and then
Yeah.
we'll try and do another one of these from on the road. Maybe that would be fun.
Yeah, I need to go soon anyway. Go have lunch with the kiddos and
What is it? All right. Well, let's ask you both. What at the moment, as of today, what is your favorite song on the record?
um
I already posted my thing the other day, but
for me it's either Slow It Down or Someday, I think. One of those two.
I think today, because it's today, it's slow it down, but it'll
that's
change
because
tomorrow.
we just, by the way, all of you watching now, we just released yesterday a music video for Slow It Down with my friend Italia, and it's sort of like a very sweet rom-com type video where I end up walking past giant versions of the lyrics, which kind of inspire me to do different things in the video, and I think it's really sweet. So that's on YouTube right now. If you haven't watched that video, please go and watch it, because I think in the swell of the album coming out, and also in all the awful news of the fires and everything, it's hard to get the message out of these things that have taken me so long to make. So and I think they're sort of hopeful and sweet, and kind of a nice respite, from things. So go check out that on YouTube. That made me really happy. Beloved or Someday.
Yeah. Someone asked which was the most fun in the studio recording. I think my memory, and I didn't play drums on this. Lamar played drums, but I was very much involved. Sam at the desk. It was so much fun, and we got the girls in to sing the
Oh,
backing vocals and
oh
everything.
yeah, that was one of my favorite. The last couple of days when we got the girls
Yeah.
It
in.
was it felt like a party.
Yeah, we got Sophia James, who's on the tour with me, Hunter, poor old Hunter, who, if you weren't on at the beginning of this, has lost her house in these fires. So please go and check out her Instagram and help her out if you can. And Anna Lee, you know, all incredible. And actually, that leads me on to this amazing band, which we're on tour with as of tonight. Well, we started the other night, but we roll out tonight. The band full of brilliant solo artists who are going to play for you before my set on the show. They're all amazing. Sophia James, Aaron Childs, Zoe Sparks, and Charles Jones. They're all incredible in their own right, and they're all becoming and playing in different cities, and it'll be a little festival of joy. So
I've never seen that move, by the way, Ben. It's great. Like, I like that
thank you. Yeah.
like,
It was something that I thought of in the beginning, and then thought, no, maybe I shouldn't take people who are better singers than me to sing right before me. But actually, I don't.
yeah. But I think it's a nice celebration of the people you're with. A lot of the times, these bands, when you're a solo artist, the musicians you tour with, you obviously give them their moment on stage, but like, it's really nice you're actually showing them what they do away from
Yeah, I
you.
want
You
to
know, like, that's like
give
a
them a
really big
chance,
deal.
because I think these
It's
people
good.
who are writing these comments and questions and coming to the shows, they're all, you know, a lot of them have supported me through Narnia, through lots of different things, and
Yeah.
they want to come and show up for me, but also to be able to. They are such passionate, beautiful people that to get these friends of mine to sing their own songs for them and get them a little bit of
Yeah.
support, they always sort of go exactly to. And they always kind of, you know, support the people that I share with them as well, which is so brilliant. So thank you all, thank you all for that. All right, so the answer to the Shakespeare question is in Stolen Time. There's a Macbeth reference that says tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. None of you got that, so F for all of you.
Mixing engineer on the album was Colton Lee.
And do we have any other engineers besides the Apogee? We
Yeah.
did everything there, right? Oh no, yeah.
Yes, I've said it a lot of times, but thank you again so much to Apogee for letting us use their beautiful studio down in Santa Monica to record it. We can have it all everyone in the same place, in this beautiful place. It's very exciting to go there. These deep red curtains and a beautiful old sound desk, and we just had the old. I felt like I was in a 70s, you know, rock band where they were just, you had the really authentic experience, like Sam said. So
yeah,
for sure.
You know, thank you so much, and thank you. I'm seeing all these comments about you all coming out to the shows in the next few weeks. I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you for streaming the album and picking favorite songs and all of that. So thank you for, and I see some of these names here are familiar from Instagram, for making little fan art things or edits or whatever. I love them. I will continue to repost my favorite ones. Yes, sorry about my English lit teacher vibes I'm giving. I don't know how to switch that off. And thanks, Hammy and Sam, for hopping on and
yeah. Can I say one thing really quick, by the way?
you can say anything.
I'm very distracted right now. I apologize. This is I think I said it again, I'm from LA. This is like unbelievably devastating for us. And one of the things I've noticed right now, I know we're trying to be positive and happy, but I just need to say that one of the things I heard recently that I thought was really interesting is that it's like overwhelming, the amount of pain right now, and it's hard to figure out where to point your help. And someone just said, just pick one person, just start with one, call them, make sure they're okay. If they need a sweatshirt, like whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to give money, whatever it is, because it's like our entire industry is just got like, especially the people that are like touring with you, like they're drummers and people that just like lost all their drums that I know. Like, it's just really,
Yeah,
really devastating. So
I was speaking to Hunt.
if you know anybody like that's suffer, just reach out, you know, and just see if they need anything, because it's overwhelming
I
right now.
spoke to Hunter last night. As I said, she sings backing vocals on the album. She's lost her house, and she I spoke to her last night, and she said, the night before, and she said she forgot socks.
Yeah.
She's like, I've got no socks. I didn't have time to get socks. And
yeah. So I'm
obviously,
not trying to bring it down.
Obviously, I told her to just come and live in my house. But you know, it's still, you know, if you know, if any of you are in LA, and that's really good advice, Sam.
I'm on Laguna Beach at the minute, and just the car park in front of me, everyone's just coming in single files in their cars, opening their boot, and just setting out furniture, clothes, food, brushes, hair dryers, you know, NutriBullets are all just sitting out in the car park, and they're filing it and labeling it,
Yeah.
and it's all going. It's going every 3 hours to LA to help. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what we can do when we really put our heads together as a community.
It's a beautiful
More,
thing. Yeah.
more of that.
Yeah.
Yes, if somebody could put Hunter's, actually, if someone could put Hunter's tag, I think it's at Hunter Elizabeth. I want to be absolutely sure.
Yeah.
And I'll post it in these comments now. If someone can check it for me, that'd be really kind. Because if I go to it, it'll.
I just sent it in there. Is that her there?
At the Hunter Elizabeth. Okay, I'm gonna put it at the Hunter Elizabeth. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put it down there. If anyone wants to go check out her story and offer her help, that'd be great. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like the Apogee is run by the Betty Clearmountain, and the Clearmountains lost their house, which is crazy. And Spike Stan, who's like a really great mixer, lost his place. So it's really weird. It's really dark. But I'm glad we're talking about some music and some positive, fun stuff. And I hope you guys have a really great tour. And I really hope I
Thank
can
you.
see the show at some point, because I really want to play Someday with you guys. I love that
Well, you
song.
have to come to
It's
the LA
great.
show in March and play it
Yeah,
there.
hopefully I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if for some reason that doesn't work out, come join you guys somewhere else in the country and
That
we'll
would be
party there. So
very cool. And
yeah.
everyone's saying, that they are coming to a show or just saying notice me or sending me their love. I'm sending it all right back to you, and I see you, and I appreciate all the support from 20 years of movies all the way to this new endeavor. And thanks for being with me all the time, and thanks Sam and Hammy for helping me put an album out, because it's been a dream since I was 19, and to do it in your 40s is like a strange move,
Yeah.
but it was brilliant. And I don't know anything about how to do this stuff, so I'm just chatting with my friends, and you guys are watching, and hopefully that was okay. And sending you all tons of love. Stay safe, look after each other, and thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, please.
Lots of love.
All right.
Bye.